Hello everyone, my name is Christian, welcome to my hobby blog. So today it is Sunday night. I just got out of the shower in order to be ready for the workday tomorrow. I decided to open one of my Criterion sale, Barnes & Noble sale titles and go through it tonight. This is a rewatch. This is a film that I have seen before. It is one I have very not complicated feelings for, but I go back and forth. But this film is the amazing movie made by Andrei Tarkovsky from 1972. This is Solaris. And first of all, I just love this cover. It is so emblematic of what the movie is about. But let's discuss Tarkovsky first. He is not a polarizing director, in my opinion, but more a director who I think is more fun to analyze and to think about and to meditate on, but the actual sitting down and watching the movie is very hard. I hesitate to recommend anybody to watch his films. Not to say that his films are bad. They are very unique, very well done, great filmmaking, great set design, great cinematography, everything. He is, in my opinion, one of the best directors out there ever, and it is not a hard director to explore or to really just explore, I guess is the perfect word for this. He has 7 films in all, and he unfortunately died at a pretty young age in his 50s due to cancer, which was related to another film that he made called Stalker, which was made a couple years later, and that the behind the scenes for that movie is absolutely incredible. And the issue with Stalker is that they made the entire film, it was done, ready to go, and then there was a fire or something happened to the one surviving print of it before going to release it, or to at least get it edited or something. And they had to remake the movie from scratch. And the areas that they were working in the Soviet Union and Russia was totally contaminated with cancerous radioactive waste. And they were filming like right there. And it is such a shame that many of the people involved in that production died because of cancer due to having to go back into that area of hazardous waste. But Tarkovsky, the not issue that I have, the drawback to his films that I think makes it hard for me to recommend is that they are very, very slow paced on purpose, because Tarkovsky, almost all his movies are very metaphysical, very meditative, and his entire filmography is all about exploring what it is or what it means to be a human with emotions and personality. And in this film in particular, Solaris, this film is all about a psychologist who is called to go to outer space to the planet Solaris, and they discover that the entire ocean, with a capital O, the ocean that is also, the body of water that you see here, is conscious. It is self-aware. It has thoughts and can influence the environment around itself. And so the psychologist is brought on to this team to kind of figure out what is going on the spaceship, and discovers that this ocean, this sentient body of water, is able to manifest people from people's past, from the thoughts. So our main character, the psychologist, sees his dead wife, who he accidentally killed. And so the entire movie is him kind of exploring what it means to be a human, to this alien creature that is not pretending, but is a reflection of how he sees his wife, who is played by a wonderful woman by the name of Natalia Bondarchuk. I think that's how you say it. But before watching this movie, I watched the interview with her. That was the only supplement I watched. It's a 30-minute supplement interview where she discusses Andrei Tarkovsky and this film in particular. And the stories she has really made me appreciate this movie a lot more than I had my first watch, because this was the second movie that I saw by him, the first one being Stalker. The other films that I've seen are, so those are the two I've listed. I've seen Ivan's Childhood, Andrei Rublev, The Mirror, and there's one more that I'm blanking out on. But the one I haven't seen is Nostalgia, which is his second to last film. But again, it's very, very slow paced. I fall asleep during each of his movies for a minute or two, and I wake back up and get re-engaged. But I think what makes this movie in particular very slow is the sound design. This movie is quite slow, but it's very quiet throughout the entire movie, and everyone is speaking in whispers the entire film. So, again, the not movies I enjoy watching, but the more movies I really enjoy analyzing and reading about and just learning about it. I don't find his movies bad. They're not bad at all. They're, again, masterpieces, most of them. But you need to know that before going in. I think this is a director in general that I don't recommend to people. He is a director that you want to have the motivation to dive into. This is not a director that you have to see. Although in my opinion you do have to see it, but it's really hard to convey this. But he is a director that you should dive in when you're ready. When you are ready to dive in and really sink your teeth into him. He is not someone you can just watch without any research, without preparing yourself. Because all his movies are about 3 hours long, some of them 3.5 hours. I think Andrei Rublev is his longest. This is his shortest, but it's 2 hours and 46 minutes. So, not short at all. But I wouldn't change a thing about this movie. This movie is very good. I really enjoy it. The interview on this is absolutely wonderful. There is a audio commentary, which I think would be interesting to listen to. I wouldn't necessarily watch the movie again with the commentary, but I would probably turn it on while doing, whatever on my computer. So I don't know what else to talk about. It's a very small cast in this movie. It's the wife, the couple scientists who ask the psychologist to go up to this planet, and then the two people on board of the spaceship. So, very, very interesting film. Very unique director. Someone that you should check out before you die, basically. Someone that I think everyone should watch at least one of his films, this or Stalker. Andrei Rublev is one that you should probably be a little more familiar with the historical figure before diving in, because I wasn't, and I was lost the entire movie. And also, I just remembered there's a booklet that comes with this release, and in it, one of the interviews or writings that you get is an essay written by Akira Kurosawa, my favorite director ever, in my who I've talked about before, but he actually visited the set of Solaris while this was being made, and was invited by Andrei Tarkovsky to come on and kind of hang out for like a day or two while he was in Russia showing one of his films. And Kurosawa talks about how they went out for dinner one night and ended up getting super drunk with Andrei Tarkovsky, which, wow, to be a fly on the wall during that event would have just been enlightening and very insightful. But he discusses how when they were at this restaurant, he was able to put the Seven Samurai theme song on and was shouting and screaming the lyrics to this. And Kurosawa talks about how he joined Tarkovsky in singing the song, and it's a very wonderful theme song. It's one that pops in my head every now and then, but it was really, really interesting. It's about a 3-page interview, not interview, but like, it's like a diary entry from Kurosawa, and it is so interesting to read about that event. And man, I wish somebody who was there had a camera and just set it up in the corner and recorded. That would have been amazing. But I think that is it in terms of what I have to say about this movie. It is wonderful. Everyone should watch it. But the Criterion sale is still going on. It's only still the first week of November. So definitely go out and check out a few titles from Criterion at Barnes & Noble. That's where you can do it. It's 50% off for everything, aside from the stuff that is coming out after November. But I will be showing off what I get once it all comes in. I have 2 box sets coming in, and I think that's it. I think that's all I'll be buying. But this is one of the titles I got, so I kind of spoiled you guys on what I got. But this is just one of many, many titles that I got. So thank you all for watching, and I hope you guys have a wonderful week.